So now that we've successfully logged in, I want to navigate to the Discover page. So we can click on Discover and navigate around here and add a book and do all the rest of the stuff we want to do here. So let's say Sci, Find, By, Role, Navigation. And then within the navigation, we're going to say Sci, Find, By, Role, Link with the name of Discover. And we'll click on that link. And that should get us navigated to the Discover page. And there we are. Awesome. So now we need to find a book, and Voice of War looks pretty cool. So let's try that one. So we'll say Sci, Find, By, Role, Main. In our main content area, we'll say within that, we'll perform these actions. Sci, Find, By, Role, Search box, Name, Search. So we're going to look for that search box, and we're going to type in Voice of War and hit enter. So let's see what happens there. We type in Voice of War, enter, awesome. Voice of War comes up. So then I want to add that to my reading list. So we're going to say Sci, Find, By, Role, List Item with the name Voice of War. And that works because each of our list items is labeled with the title of the book. And so within the list item itself, we'll say Sci, Find, By, Role, button, and we'll find the button with the name, Add to List, and we'll click on it. And we'll save that. Let's make sure that's going to work as well. And here we are. Awesome. So now let's make sure that that item actually made it to our reading list by clicking on the reading list. So let's go back to the navigation. I'm going to just copy lots of this, and we'll click on Reading List. Now let's verify that's going to work for us. Awesome, and there it appears there. We can make an assertion. So let's make sure that there's nothing else in our reading list. So we'll verify there's only one item within our reading list. So we'll do another search within the main content, and we'll say Sci, Find, All, By, Role, List Item. So we'll find all the list items within our main content, and this one we're going to make an assertion that it should have length of 1. And let's also say Sci, Find, By, Role, Link with the name of Voice of War, and we'll click on that to go to that book page. So let's verify this, and then we can review what we've done so far. Here we go to that reading list page, and now it shows up. We made this assertion that there was only one item in here, and then we clicked on that link, and that took us to the book page. So let's review what we did here. Once we did all this registration, then we clicked on the Discover link within the navigation, and that's useful because that's actually what the user does. They don't just look for text all over the screen and find links that say Discover. They're actually looking at the navigation area, and so this is why it's important for our applications to be accessible, so we can test it like this, just like a regular user would use it, as well as a user with a screen reader. So that's why we're typically putting everything inside of a within like we're doing here, because we're kind of trying to behave like the user. So then within our main content area, we're going to say, hey, let's find that search box and type in Voice of War. And then let's find the list item that is named Voice of War. So that has the title of Voice of War. And then we'll say Find by Role button for Add to List. We'll click on that. And then we'll navigate over to the reading list and make sure that only one item shows up, the one we just added, and that that item happens to be Voice of War, and we'll click on it.